All right, so we left off with the fifth year festival. Now, there was actually two shows that took place before the fifth year festival in 2007. So the first show, 2007, was called Dedicated. Um, this show was pretty good. It's not amazing. There's some good stuff on it. You had Rocky Romero and Davey Richards. They opened up the show. They got way too much time. They get maybe like 22 minutes, but it was very, very stiff. There were some good things about it. I liked it probably more than most people did, but it got a little bit too much time. You had Samoa Joe and Nigel McGuinness. This is one of their better matches. The crowd was kind of dead for it, but they woke up during the best spots of the match, so it worked pretty nicely. Like I said, one of the better Nigel Joe matches. They had a really good feud in 2007. Because Nigel was wrestling for Pro Wrestling Noah, and Samoa Joe was feuding with Morishima and the rest of Pro Wrestling Noah. So it made a lot of sense. Yeah, Homicide versus Chris Hero. Pretty good match, not amazing. Hero was brought in as like Hero was more of a supporting player back then. Even gave supposedly called Chris Hero a hustler, which meant like he knew his role. That's why he got so many dates over in Germany, over in Japan. And him and Homicide just had a nice solid match. I think it takes a lot, because you pretty much know the first Homicide title defense is definitely going to retain. So for Hero to step up and do the job, give him a lot of credit. Main event, you had Roderick Strong and Austin Aries taking on the Briscoes, 2 out of 3 falls. The Briscoes actually won 2 straight falls. They were about to split up Roderick and Aries, so it made a lot of sense as far as storyline progression goes. But pretty good action. Not the best Briscoes and Aries in strong match, but these two teams put on great matches all the time. So it's a good main event. I'll probably give it about 3 3/4, 4 stars, that type of level. All right, so that was dedicated. All right, next up we have Battle of the Icons. Battle of the Icons is the worst show of 2007. This is one of the worst shows in Ring of Honor history, in my opinion. But still, there's some really good stuff on it, though. But there's a lot of crap on it, so it is a mixed bag. But first, let me talk about the main event. I hated the main event. Homicide versus Samoa Joe for the ROH title, the worst Homicide Samoa Joe match. Both of these guys used to hate each other. They used to try to light each other on fire, and this is one of the biggest rivalries in ROH history. Now, at this time, both of them were baby faces. They were both friends. They really are friends, but I don't know. The match just didn't have a lot of intensity to me. I just didn't buy it. It wasn't very believable. Homicide actually defeated Joe. I just didn't like the way he went about it, and I just thought Homicide's world title reign by this point just kind of sucked. It just wasn't going anywhere. Him as a babyface, I just didn't think it was working that good. But like I said, this is a pretty bad main event. Just put a bad taste in my mouth. And the fact that they were both celebrating and fooling around after the match just made it even worse. But some good stuff from this show was Nigel McGuinness and Jimmy Rave. The I Quit match was really, really good. It definitely progressed the whole Nigel Rave feud to another level. And then you actually had B.J. Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs. They had another bloody last man standing match. That was good. Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, Jack Evans taking on Delirious, Delirious, Davey Richards, and Shingo. A 3-on-3 tag match. This is excellent match of the night. These guys stole the show. That's probably like the only match worth going out of your way to see. But the rest of the card is pretty much forgettable. A lot of awful matches on this show. A lot of weak undercard matches as well. All right, so next up we have All-Star Extravaganza 3. This took place during the WrestleMania 23 weekend in Detroit. The great thing about this was the main event. The main event is definitely probably the only must-see match on here. You had SEMA, Susumu Yokosuka, Dragon Kid, and Ryo Sato from Dragon Gate taking on the Ring of Honor team of Austin Aries, Delirious, Rocky Romero, Claudio, Castagnoli. I mean, you could have called this Dragon Gate Challenge too. I thought that would have worked, but the actual match is great. ROH versus Dragon Gate, it made a lot of sense. This is beautiful. It's right up there with some of the traditional 6-man Dragon Gate matches. I thought it was that good. I thought Claudio looked awesome in this match. I thought it was pretty interesting how Claudio was actually put on this team, considering the fact that he turned on Ring of Honor for CZW the previous year. So, well, like I said, tremendous action here. This was awesome. That's pretty much all I can say about it. Then you have Roger Strong and Jack Evans, second best match of the night, 4 stars, a lot better than you would expect. Jack was actually taken out by Roderick in New York City at the 5th year festival, so this is a nice kind of a first time ever meeting between them. They had some great matches in FIP as well, but yeah, this is awesome. Strong did some sick backbreakers. He stretched Jack Evans beautifully in this match. He just stretched the crap out of him. Jack hit some pretty good offense too, so yeah, that was a great match. 4 stars without a doubt. Yeah, Homicide and Christopher Daniels, solid, but not amazing. Daniels and Homicide pretty much wrestled the generic match. It was good, but just kind of disappointing considering both talents involved. Yeah, Nigel McGuinness and Brent Albright. Brent Albright was playing the hired gun, the gun for hire, and him and Nigel had a good match. Albright actually defeated Nigel, so he got a really, really big rub out of this match. And, you actually had Naruki doing Shingo taking on the Briscoes. This is where Mark Briscoe did his shooting star press and fell on his head on the concrete floor. got a concussion, so Jay Briscoe had to wrestle the rest of the match by himself, and he actually won the tag team titles back from the rookie Doink and Shingo. It was still a good match, but this could have been amazing if Mark was healthy and wrestled the whole match. But give Jay Briscoe credit. They had to do a lot of improvising, and they had to kind of rush the finish. But I still thought it came out pretty well. You could tell Gabe Sapolsky was severely stressed out. He got back on commentary, and he went out to the ring to check on Mark Briscoe. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, Mark Briscoe, give him a lot of credit to come back from that injury. You had Davey Richards and Masaki Mochizuki. This is a pretty solid show. A lot of like solid 3 1/4 star matches. You know, not as good as their Dragon Gate match, but Davey and Mochizuki had a pretty stiff match, pretty short and stiff. So that's pretty much it. All Star Extravaganza 3, really good show. So let's check it out. Next we have Supercard of Honor 2, an amazing show. Everyone needs to check this out. Features the greatest steel cage match of all time, in my opinion. A great triple main event here. A lot of solid undercard matches as well, like Jack Evans and the Rookie Doi versus Davey Richards and Rocky Romero. That was very solid. Nigel McGuinness and Hero had a solid match with a sick. There's a sick, entertaining segment with Larry Sweeney and Johnny Fairplay, and Nigel just took Johnny Fairplay's head off. He just did the lariat and just took his fucking head off. That was a sick spot. And then you actually had triple main event. Triple main event was awesome. You had B.G. Whitmer, Jimmy Jacobs. Greatest steel cage match of all time, in my opinion. This is so close to 5 stars. It's not even funny. It was just amazing. They killed each other in this match. Jimmy Jacobs tore his ACL. B.G. Whitmer did a frog splash off the top of a ladder through a table. Jacobs did a senton splash to a table. They took out spikes. They took out chairs. They just beat the crap out of each other. I mean, this is one of the most intense cage matches I've ever seen. Jimmy Jacobs finally dethroned B.J. Whitmer, and this really put him on a good side with Lacey. But Jacobs actually had to take some time off after this match. All right, but yeah, like I said, that's an incredible steel cage match. All right, we had Roderick Strong versus Austin Aries FIP title. Roderick and Aries finally their big match, big money match, and pretty much the match was good. Aries is very, very stiff in this match, very smartly wrestled. Aries did a great job of trying to avoid Roderick Strong's chops and backbreakers. But Roderick looked like a beast in this match. Just really put over Roderick Strong as a monster heel. He took out Aries, powerbombed him on the steel outside, brought him in, made him pass out to the stronghold. So it definitely set up another Austin Aries Roderick Strong match in the future. But it's still a 4-star match. Not one of their better matches, but still good. Main event, you had the Dragon Gate match. You had Sema, Shingo, Susumu Yokosuka, Dragon Kid, Ryo Sato, and Masaki Mochizuki. I mean, an awesome match. I mean, this is pretty much right up there with all the Dragon Gate matches. Probably the weakest one, but this match had its own identity because you got Shingo in there, and you got Mochizuki, Ryo Sato, Yokosuka. I mean, it had a different feel to it. You got a totally different teams here, but it was still an excellent match. It's still freaking awesome. So definitely check out Supercard of Honor 2. Must-see show. Next we have This Means War 2. This Means War 2, it's kind of a house show, but features a lot of good storyline progression. It's definitely worth checking out. Some great stuff with Austin Aries recruiting Eric Stevens to be on the Resilience. That was good stuff. And then you had Briscoes and Kevin Steen and El Generico. They officially started feuding on this show. Kevin Steen officially called out the Briscoes and demanded another title shot that led to a big brawl with them. And Claudio Castagnoli was involved as well. So, and then some good stuff in this show. You had the Resilience taking on the No Remorse Corps in an elimination match. The No Remorse Corps just demolished the Resilience here. Then you had the main event was Takeshi Morishima and Chris Hero taking on Nigel McGuinness and Doug Williams. A fun main event, not amazing, but really good stuff. Nigel got a lot of momentum heading into his title shot with Morishima the next night. And Doug Williams did some pretty sick suplexes on Morishima. Chris Hero was very hilarious in this match as well. I thought that the team of Hero and Morishima made for a very interesting team. All right, next up we have Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit is it's a great show, so I think everyone should check it out. You actually had the Briscoes, Jay Briscoe and Eric Stevens taking out Kevin Steen and El Generico. Eric Stevens is actually taken out halfway through the match by the No Remorse Corps, and so eventually Mark Briscoe replaced him. Mark Briscoe's mother is in the crowd telling him to get out of the ring, get out of the match. And then you had Kevin Steen just played a monster heel in this match. He just played such an antagonist. He was awesome in this match. Kevin Steen was a heel. But Kevin Steen and El Generico just beat the crap out of Mark Briscoe. They threw him into the guardrail. They just this is a big win for them. They really this win really put them over the top, made them legit contenders. And then we had Colt Cabana cut a nice promo, a nice farewell speech. This was his last show on the East Coast before he went to the WWE. And then we had Davey Richards and Davey Richards and Roderick Strong taking on Jack Evans and Delirious. Awesome match, really, really good stuff. Very, very underrated. A lot of fun to watch. Then the main event, we got Takeshi Morishima and Nigel McGuinness for the ROH title. This is the best match Nigel and Morishima had. It was just awesome. It was called Fighting Spirit because they did a lot of great things in this match. With Morishima did the backdrop driver, Nigel would just no sell it, hit him with the lariat. It was just a lot of great action in this match. Like I said, this is the best Morishima Nigel match by far. So definitely check out Fighting Spirit. It's surprising. It's a good show considering they didn't have access to a lot of the TNA talent for this show. All right, next up we have Battle of St. Paul. It's a mixed bag. I thought the show was pretty good. Some matches kind of under-delivered. We have BJ Whitmer and Shingo. Awesome match. This is a very, very solid mid-card match. They kind of rocked the house. Shingo got a big win heading into his title shot with Morishima the next night. Ultimate Endurance match. The Briscoes got the win. They faced a bunch of Chikara guys. Quackenbush was in the match with Jigsaw. It was kind of sloppy, but Briscoes got a pretty good win here. Pretty fun to watch. But we have Roderick Strong and Christopher Daniels for the FIP title. Kind of a boring match. Daniels wrestled a very slow-paced style. Roderick Strong was playing kind of a heelish antagonist, so it was a very slow-paced matchup. So don't expect a classic. Roderick actually won the match by countout. And then the main event was awesome. We had Morishima defending the Ring of Honor World title against Austin Aries. This is an awesome match. Morishima's most underrated title defense. I love the story to this match. Aries basically tried to do the same thing he did to Joe, just take it at Morishima 100 miles an hour and just take it to him. He almost beat him with the brainbuster 450 splash. That same combination. The crowd was going crazy for Aries because Aries was actually trained in St. Paul, so he had a great connection with the crowd. There's some great spots in this match. Morishima did a backdrop driver off the top rope. That was great. And a great crowd, a great match. I thought this match was awesome. So, all right, next up we have Good Times, Great Memories. Good Times, Great Memories is probably the best show of 2007. Everyone needs to check this out. Just a lot more than wrestling. You have the Christopher Daniels cut his epic promo on this show where he bashed the Ring of Honor, the ROH bots. And then you had the opener with the Chikara guys, which was really, really fun. And then you had Romero and Austin Aries had a solid match. Just a lot of solid, like 3.25 to 3.5 star matches. Romero and Aries was really, really good. Morishima and Shingo, awesome match. This is where Shingo became a star. Shingo just dropped Morishima on his head a couple times in this match. Crowd really got behind them. Definitely probably a great, Morishima title defense, one of his best. You had Roderick Strong, Jack Evans had another solid match. Then you had the Briscoes versus the Motor City Machine Guns. This is probably the best match Motor City Machine Guns have ever had. If you're a Motor City Machine Gun fan, you definitely need to buy this DVD because this match was awesome. Definitely one of the best matches of 2007. The Briscoes got a huge win in this match. And Sabin and Shelley just looked amazing here. I think this is one of the first times they tagged up together in 2007. And then you had Colt Cabana, his farewell match against Adam Pearce. A really, really emotional, fun match as well. Alright, so next up we have Reborn Again. Reborn Again was right before the first pay-per-view. This very easily could have been a throwaway show, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was okay. Kevin Steen and El Generico had a good match against Eddie Edwards and Jason Blade. That was solid. Brian Danielson actually officially returned from his shoulder surgery, had some squash matches against Shane Hagadorn and Adam Pearce. Then he teamed up with the Resilience to face No Remorse Corps. That was a solid matchup. Marufuji taking on Matt Sydal. Really, really fun to watch. I like that combination. Too bad we didn't get to see more of it down the road, but it could have been better, but I thought it was solid. Kenta and Delirious, probably Kenta's weakest match in Ring of Honor, but it was still good though. Delirious got some nice offense in. He looked like a legit threat to Kenta. And it was still a good match. Just kind of weak for a Kenta match, But then Mark and Jay Briscoe, the Briscoes taking on Morishima and BJ Whitmer. They actually hated BJ Whitmer in this match. The crowd just didn't like the fact that he got involved into the main event. But the stuff the Briscoes did with Morishima was extremely fun. Respect the Zone. Respect the Zone has a lot of nice bonus features on it that were cut from the pay-per-view. And then you have the whole Jimmy Loves Lacey storyline thing. That was awesome stuff. Then the actual pay-per-view, the Morishima BJ Whitmer squash match was great, and they did a great thing with Nigel and Danielson to set up the main event. And then you have Rocky Romero and Marufuji. These two guys just had a clinic out there, a lot of vicious kicks. Marufuji just put on an awesome wrestling clinic in this match. I thought it was a 4-star match. Then you had the Briscoes taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Sydal. This is one of the most important matches in Ring of Honor history. This is what really got people buzzing about the company. The Briscoes just stole the show. Claudio looked like a beast in this match. This is one of Claudio Castagnoli's most impressive performances. And then, the main event was Morishima and Brian Danielson taking on Kenta and Nigel McGuinness. Just a great attraction match. I just thought it was great. Nigel did a beautiful job selling his injury Danielson played a great heel. Morishima looked dominant. You know, the stuff between Kenta and Danielson was, you know, just as good as their Glory of Honor 5 Night 2 match. Very, very underrated main event.